Yes. Yes. So I'm just gonna jump in and do a little introduction, and we'll get started. So
Okay.
hi everybody out there, whether you're on live or you join at another time, thank you for your time. Today we're gonna be doing a collective read for Venus and Aquarius. We're going to talk. I'm going to break down the astrology, and Miss Janae is going to do the tarot read, which I shouldn't be this excited. So my name is Keisha. I'm the owner of A Way of Life. I'm a career and business coach using astrology. But a lot of the times you'll see me going live, doing things with other people, just to really have the opportunity to show how astrology shows up in real life. And why is that important to a career and business coach? Because a lot of the times when these astrological things are going on, it does affect the choices that you make when you're thinking about your career and business choices. So it's important for me to do those. I also do new moon and full moon readings just to keep up with the time. Especially now, we are at it's really a great time to be alive, even though it might not seem like that, because there's a lot going on. But this really is a great time to be alive. So I'm going to give the floor to Miss Janae to introduce herself and who she is and what she does.
Hey y'all, I'm PurposeSoul Mystic. I have a YouTube channel and I am what I call an intuitive guidance coach. I do this for a business as well. So I have a retail space where I do readings and sell metaphysical things, like your sage and your frankincense and myrrh, those kinds of things. And I like to collaborate. Tarot and astrology go well together. You can't talk about tarot without talking about astrology. And so I'm excited about what Spirit has to say. And I say intuitive guidance coach. And one thing I always want to let people know about tarot, well, for me, I can't speak for all tarot readers. The tarot cards are a conduit. They are a conduit for the gifts that you already have. Like, for instance, I have clairvoyance and I have clairaudience. I hear and I see in the spirit, and I have been seeing a whole lot of stuff lately. Going through a spiritual awakening again. Anybody else out there can relate, because I'm seeing I'm thinking they're ancestors. I'm seeing all kinds of symbols and signs and people I've never seen before, and I've even been seeing hieroglyphics on stones in the spirit. I'm just seeing all kinds of stuff. So saying the tarot cards are a conduit, they're a conduit. Yes, it's an interpretation of the tarot cards, but there are other giftings that go along with those cards for me. I don't just look at the cards. I listen to what Spirit is saying to me, and I see what Spirit is showing me as well. And there's also a knowing, but we won't get into all of that. Just a little bit of tidbit about tarot.
Yes. Thank you. And she's amazing. In fact, she challenged me this time around. This is actually our second time working together, and Janae is now officially a reader on my page, on my website. So I have her and 3 other young ladies that are on the page who do tarot readings. Be sure to check them out, show them some love. And I'll leave all the information in the description box below so people can find them. But this is the second time we collaborated together. The first time was the end of last year when Jupiter entered Aquarius. And which, by the way, starting this month, that video is an activation. So that energy is an activation this month. It's going to happen 3 times this year. I break it down in my Jupiter to enter into Aquarius videos. And I have horoscopes, and I tell you what day for each horoscope that those times are going to happen. And this is one of them. So you can go back and watch both of those readings, and it's still very valid to what's going on right now. So be sure to check those out as well. And in doing that,
okay.
huh?
I was going to say, isn't Jupiter in Aquarius all the way to the end of the year, December 30th?
Yes, and this activation of energies, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it when I talk about Aquarius, which is what I'm in reference to saying right now, because the challenge was last time when we did this reading, I just gave like a little description about Jupiter and Aquarius, and then when she did the reading, I was like, oh, okay, so I see how this works now. I played it too small. I should have went bigger. So I'm not going to spend too much time with an explanation, but I am going to talk about Venus and Aquarius as an overall general understanding. I'm going to talk about it in this current time, and I'm going to do some positive, like the low vibration of Aquarius and the high vibration of Aquarius. Because Janae, like I said, she picks up like, she's a whole force. If you haven't gotten a reading from her, like, you need to get a reading, because she picks up on energy like it just. So, like I said, I'm excited. Without further ado, it looks like we got some people in the comments section. So this app is really cool. Hi, ladies. How are you all doing? Can you guys hear us and see us?
Miss Rebel.
She says, I think I'm addicted to the lives. Help me. I just stopped one. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
It is.
And Sophie's here as well. So the really cool thing about using Restream is, if you see at the bottom of the screen, I have the option to put their comments at the bottom of the screen.
Right.
So I'll try to keep doing that as we go along, folks. I'm not the best at doing that, so please forgive me. But all right, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. If you see me over here looking, it's because I got my notes. As a Gemini, as a double air sign, I need notes, or else I'll go off talking about something that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So this is my safety net. So Venus and Aquarius. Aquarius is the most eccentric sign of the zodiac. They have the dual personalities, even more so than Geminis, if anybody can believe that that's possible.
I heard it say, are you kidding me? They're more than Gemini.
Yes, I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because Saturn, the planet that currently rules Capricorn, is the ancient ruler of Aquarius. And Saturn rules, that's the planet of discipline, structure, focus, implementing the law, following the law, and hard work. And that's just to name a simple few. I can go on for days. But like I said,
that sounds so anti-Aquarius.
Right? It does. And I get to show you guys how this energy plays out, which is why I wanted to do a more in-depth explanation of it. So you have that structured side, and then you have the current ruler of Aquarius, which is Uranus. And Uranus doesn't like following rules. Especially when it comes to relationships, it's very unconventional in love. Spontaneous in love, and needs a lot of freedom. Okay. And I'm going to give some examples to what that kind of looks like, but you can already see the duality playing out on that already, which is still blowing my mind. But let's see. Again, just keeping up with the comments here. It says, LOL, I'm the same, Miss Rebel. I hope you ladies are all well. Oh, hi, Sophie.
Yes. Hi, Sophie.
They're just in there conversating. These are, they are so, Miss Rebel and Sophie are the biggest supporters.
They are very supportive.
Oh my God, they're amazing. They're amazing.
Yes, they are.
She says, I have Aquarius in my chart too. Yes, everybody has Aquarius in your chart. You really want to know where Aquarius is in your chart at this time? I can't stress that enough. So you know what area of your life is finna to get flipped upside down. It's going to be important on this journey.
Miss Rebel, I am an Aquarius rising.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So Aquarius is a sign of universal gatherings, huge circles of networking, liberating, bringing the world together on one consciousness. That's like the overall view. And again, I'm being real small here with my descriptions here. I could go on and on and on if you want to know more about it. We have the Aquarius new moon coming up, so you definitely want to make sure you're following. This way you can figure out. I'm going to go in on this. I can't even wait.
Oh, okay, Miss Rebel. Okay.
Ooh, she said her Aquarius is in Lilith. That is absolutely yummy.
I don't know much about Lilith, but ain't she got something to do with sex?
Lilith in the birth chart. I think I talked about this last time, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Lilith in the birth chart is the archetype of the devil's wife. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, there's some sex in there, among other things. She's a whole force to be reckoned with. So Aquarius rules, they are very intellectual, and love friendships. They're all about their friendships, and they get gains through their networking circles. So I think what we're going to see a lot here over this age of Aquarius time is groups of women growing in some way, form, or fashion. And I think even though Venus in Aquarius is not a very long transit, every transit that we're having now, starting this year, because this is the beginning of the age of Aquarius, is going to be the focus of the next 20 years, right? Overall. But so we'll see a lot of large groups of women or men having a large following of women. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that too. Look at Janae's message. Oh my goodness. Overall, people are going to be attracted to being in large groups of people, as we've already seen on a pretty tremendous level. And we're only in the first day of February. So that says a lot to the energy right there. And older women, more mature women, because we're talking about Capricorn, Saturn here. Saturn is about maturity. It rules the elderly, and very disciplined women, right? This is about somebody who has responsibilities and they know how to take care of their responsibilities, and being like an individual. Their own kind of, and having their own kind of individuation is going to be major, especially when it comes to love. And somebody who's dedicated to giving back. I did a post on this today, just doing like a brief overview of Venus in Aquarius. I did like a horoscope talking about it in depth, even more about what love is going to look like moving forward. I definitely go check that out because you can get way more information there. But somebody who's dedicated to giving back to the community, scientific in nature, that's just another thing that Aquarius happens to, Uranus specifically happens to rule, and very practical. They like smart, nerdy, weird topics. So it's just a combination right there. And then we have Venus, which rules beauty, harmony, luxury, self-worth, pleasure, love, and all relationships. We're not just talking about romantic relationships with Venus. in a birth chart for a man, Venus tells you who your wife is, which I find very interesting. In fact, I'm going to be doing horoscopes on love language for Venus and Mars, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute, because this gets real interesting. But so in a birth chart, Venus tells, and for a man, Venus tells you who the wife is, and what his comforts are, and what he's attracted to, you know, what makes him happy. And for a woman, it's your love language. It tells you, you know, what you like, how you want to be loved, right? And then for women, Mars tells you, tells a woman her love, a man's love language. I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied here. So for men, Mars tells you their love language. Okay. And currently, right now, we have Mars in Taurus, and has been for quite some time now after going through that long transit of Aries. I've been talking about this entire time, since at least June of last year, if not definitely August, because Mars had a really big transit where I had been explaining and talking about the importance of Mars growing up, because Mars can also be seen as the immature one, very reactive and reactionary. They don't really think things through. This rules the first house. Is always about what I want, you know, when I want it and how I want it, right? But with Mars even being in Taurus says a lot. Like, Taurus is not like that. You know, they are very calculated, slow. They're thinking things through. They are not going to jump into a relationship. And then you have Saturn, the ancient ruler of Aquarius, who's also not with it. They're like, what can you bring to the table? You know, you know, you know, Saturn wants to know, and they will take their time methodically to wait for the right time in a relationship to have this kind of conversation. And then you have Venus and Venus that just came out of Capricorn with that Mercury retrograde that's making us go back right now to rethink everything that we've learned from all of this energy. So when I originally thought about this, my first initial thought was, this is people who have been in relationships for a long time now, right? I'm thinking about the couple who've been together so long that they argue over the littlest thing, but don't sleep. They still go home and get busy, right? You know what I'm saying? Or the very, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? The couple who was like super classy and elegant. They might have a really nice house and they eat dinner together and it's just them. They don't have any kids, but they sit at the table and sit across from each other and they're just like, yeah, I'm the shit. I'm just saying. These are the things that come through my mind, but that's the way they relate to one another with this kind of energy. Or, you know, the very conservative couple who has 3 kids, they go to work, they have a very conservative life, right? And everybody thinks that they're, you know, nice and quiet until they tell you about that time they told them kids they was getting on the nerves. They just needed a break. And they told them kids, look, we're going out. We'll be right back. Don't open this door. And don't unlock this door for anybody until we get back. And then meanwhile, they in the garage in the car fucking. I'm just saying. Look. She's laughing at me.
Girl, them seats go back. I'm
just saying, this this is couples who've been together for a long period of time. So I'm really saying all this to put some context to where we are if we're single or looking for relationships. This is a tough energy for people in those positions. I'm telling you right now, Mars and Taurus, Venus just coming out of Capricorn into Aquarius. Even Aquarius is not jumping in the bed with you. A high vibrational Aquarius, they're not doing that. They want to be your friend first. And this is over a long period of time. This is because, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this and I'm going to move on so Janae can get into it. But this is over a long period of time because Aquariuses aren't good with emotions. That's not their strong suit. So immediately when I think about this, whatever you're building now, even if it's not even about a relationship, I mean just overall in general, understanding what Venus rules, you're not looking for a relationship, at least not one night stands, unless you're on the lower vibration, and we're going to get into that in just a few minutes. But I say all that to say, so people know, right? And they really understand like why it's so hard for love right now. Like, she said, I'm too young for this conversation. I'm taking myself to bed. Well, at least they're married couples, you know. I thought at least if I put that context in there, that would make it okay to talk about sex, baby. I'm just but you know, this is a very social energy for any reason. Again, not just love. This energy wants to connect one person to another. They want to gather huge amounts of people and elevate the crowd to a higher spiritual thinking. You become the activist here with Libra, Venus energy. Venus is about peace, loving people, but they will break the law to save the people. I just want to put that out there. They ain't that innocent just because.
Aquarius will do that.
Yes, Aquarius. This is what I'm infusing Venus and Aquarius energy. That's an overall view of what people are going to be looking for when it comes to love these days. You know, are you willing to get down with the get down when it comes to it? Right?
Are you ride or die? Are you ride or die? Right?
Are you gonna ride or die? Fact. You know, and do we have a plan for that? Because we're talking about Capricorn. Capricorn is they're going to be the same way, but they want to know. You know, can you stand the rain? And if so, we gotta have a backup plan. Where's the money at? Because I'm gonna need you to bail me out. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. And what are you building together? Right? What goals and dreams are you doing? Especially things that are about
Amen.
The community, the collective. You know, how are you? What business, side hustle, projects, creative endeavors are you building and creating for the collective that's going to support everybody? This will make an Aquarius fall in love with you because they like that kind of stuff. So
now, some stuff like bartering and then when I hear you talk about big groups, I'm like, hey, we in a damn pandemic. So how are we going to have big groups together?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. This ain't going to be easy for single folks or anybody.
And then my next question is, were those insurrectionists in that darn energy?
Aquarius in the building, y'all. First of all, she's the only person in the world who could have thought of that. Oh my goodness, I freaking love you guys. Oh my God, that is so freaking hilarious.
Okay, but it's true though, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except for they weren't ride or dies. They started flipping on Trump. But
Seriously. Mm-hmm. Wow. So on a low vibration, Aquarius is stubborn, fixed. It's a stubborn, fixed sign. They can be very closed-minded in their beliefs and ways of doing things. Remember, the ancient ruler here is Saturn. I'm about to be real candid, y'all, so don't be mad at me. They can be very cold and aloof. They have an IQ, and they're really good when they speak with people. They can almost see through you or hear the storyline that you're coming with, and they're going to be able to tell right off the bat what your worth is to them, right? So making people feel stupid, especially if they feel like they're not practical or that they can add to them. I told you I'm about to be candid. It's just a real life thing. They assume that people can read their minds the same way that we can, that they can, which, by the way, this is air energy overall. I think all air signs can agree. Yep. We expect you to know what we're thinking because we can do it. It's not a real thing, guys. We got to work on that as air signs.
Well, shoot, I thought that was a water sign thing. Well, dog, air signs too? Yeah, I'm just all messed up.
Maybe a water Scorpio because they rule the esoteric. But any other water sign, I don't know. I'm thinking more emotionally. I don't know. That's a conversation to have. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they intend to shoot people's dreams down, but they can do this by way of somebody's coming for them to advise by making them feel stupid. And this kind of stunts Aquarius's growth. Just being a fixed sign alone is really hard, honestly. They have to figure out creative ways to learn how to be more flexible, right? Which is not easy for a fixed sign. They can be very blunt and sarcastic. Aquariuses are logical minds. Their minds work like a computer. So they really genuinely don't understand feelings. Like it's awkward for them, right? But when I think about this, it's more like that's what they need the space for. So most people think that, again, this is an air sign in general comment, but most people think that Aquariuses are aloof, but really we just need space to process because not only are we hearing and listening to you, but remember, this is the sign that has thousands of friends and all their friends are relying on them for something at some point in time. Their mind is going, not to mention that's their energy is to be in tune with other services and things that they're interested in that are helping them, right? That can add to them. And when you have all this knowledge and all this information, just like a computer, sometimes you got to shut shit down.
Okay. Restart.
You got to shut it down. So that aloofness is really healthy detachment in relationships is what I call it. And I had to learn this for myself as a double air sign. I don't got any Aquarius in my chart, but I'm a Libra rising and a Gemini sun. And most people think that, I'm hard to relate to or understand, or I'm mysterious in some kind of way because one minute I'm super social and I'm in there like swimwear and you never know that I was shy or like to take breaks on a frequent basis. But we need that because we get super overwhelmed. And hell, we're not thinking clearly. Anyways, you can say something and we're just looking at you like, and that's where the bluntness and the coldness comes into, it's not just that they can be assholes, but, really it comes out in times when there's no balance, right? So that's why I said they really have to learn how to find things that work for them or just being honest enough to say, look, I need space. But we already know when it comes to relationships, this isn't something that's seen as common, right? Nobody's teaching us to practice healthy detachment, which it's very, like a good thing to practice, especially if you're thinking about being with somebody long term. Just the thought of somebody saying to me, yes, we're going to be together forever, and you want me to be up underneath you all the time will make me run for the hills. I'm not even kidding. Like, it scares the crap out of me. I'm like, I'll be right back. Hold that thought.
Do you
You
think
know what
that
I mean?
that may be why a lot of relationships are going through this pandemic because they're forced to be together?
Yeah, yeah. And they got to redo
Ring-a-ding,
everything. Mercury
divine.
retrograde. Think of new ways to communicate, and trust me, Aquarius is like, this is my moment. Like, I've been waiting for this my whole life to tell people, see, I'm not really mean. We just needed to practice healthy detachment. Looks like we got Miss Divine in the building. How you doing, sweetheart? How are you?
Hello, how are you?
And just a lot more comments here. So yes, healthy detachment. I had to learn that too. Okay, so we got somebody who concurs, and she's a Taurus, by the way. So that's very interesting. I'd love to hear more about that. Peace, love, and light. Oh gosh, I think I'm running over my time here, guys, but bear with us. Healthy boundaries. All right. All right. So it looks like we're
Oh,
all.
weren't we talking about boundaries over the weekend, Keisha? Oh, goodness.
Yes, yes, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because if we're keeping it all the way 100, again, this is not just about love. When you got Capricorn or Saturn in the mix in general, because Saturn rules the 10th house, which is about career and business.
Uh-huh.
So just to keep that in the back of your mind, folks. It has a lot to do with finances, or what you're doing with your life. Your mission plays a really big role in your love and in this time in general. So, anyways, even though, by the way, Aquariuses crave a relationship, they don't actually like being alone. In fact, they don't like it at all, especially once you get closer to that Pisces side, which is ruled by Neptune, which is the higher octave of Venus. Yeah, it's not what they're really looking for. So, friendships have no emotional intensity, which is why they value them so much. It's a lot easier to get to know somebody. And this way, you get to break down all those barriers too, right? In a safe place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's under pressure about, well, we've been together now for 3 months. Shouldn't we be like doing something else now? Or you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like all those kind of awkward things that Aquarius really struggle with, which, by the way, if we're thinking about this realistically, are very healthy relationship tools. Everybody should be friends first. uh, I'm going to save that thought for later. I was going to say something, but they don't like clinginess, and they love themselves a lot and think they're the shit. So if you don't have that quality, again, going back to that individuation, you don't know who you are, you don't have a purpose, and you don't know where you're going, you're going to get ghosted. And I feel like I had to put that word in there because ghosted comes up a lot when we're talking about relationships now. But just, again, remembering the time that we're in, for people, like, we're not thinking healthy when we're going into these relationships. We got a lot of people who have issues that they haven't healed yet, they haven't worked through yet, and expecting somebody to love them. And Aquarius is not with the BS. They're like, so you sounds like you need a hug. You should go find that somewhere. But and again, we're still on low vibration. Aquarius, if they're your best friend, they actually wear their heart on their sleeve. They will give you, that could be their only shirt that they have, and they will give it to you. They're the person who treats the homeless person on the street like their best friend, without question. They're not going to be like, well, how did you get in this situation? They're just like, what's up? How's your day? What you doing? And yeah, so when they really just need space again to process, then they come back. And so I hear this a lot when people ghost you and then come back, and we're associating that with negativity. Again, I think we really need to change the way we're thinking about a lot of these things that we're doing. And that might be a bigger conversation to have at some time, but I'm pretty sure Janae's going to tap into this. Like, this is why I had to break it down. I know I'm going really long, guys, but bear with me. I'm almost done here. But that's really another form of self-sabotage too, because another thing that you really want to keep in mind with Aquarius energy and what happened with Aquarius is a lot is that because they genuinely appreciate the friendship, it might go on longer than what they actually really wanted to. And then it gets to that point where it's hard to move from friendship to relationship. So just keeping that in mind, like you do still have to have some goals about what it is this friendship is, and if it does move, you got to have those kind of open talking points, right? Good luck. Yeah. Yeah. So on the high vibration side, Aquarius is constantly looking to add on and grow things outside of themselves. Again, they are the information center. This is what I thought of when I was writing this. I was like, oh yeah, the person that you call, like, remember that time you was telling me about? Because they got so many different friends. They can be in so many different fields and avenues. They just know a lot and they have a lot of connections. They're like, oh yeah, I can get you so-and-so's number. Boom, 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 boom. So a lot of this too could be about, this is how you find love, through networking. And it could be just for a job or a career, and you find the love of your life. So being on your path, being on your journey is very important for this time. Anything to help you gain stability. They can see the abilities in other people again and help you capitalize on that. Aquarius is also looking at how they relate to organizations and others, free thinkers. I kind of feel like when you relate to an Aquarius, the bigger purpose is to help you build your individual personality and to be unapologetic about that. And that's kind of what this whole age of Aquarius is going to be about overall. So I'm going to
get them scales out, them Libra scales, Miss
Libra scales. Aquarius sure are kind-hearted too. They really, really are just some of the sweetest people in this whole entire world. So, real talk, keep it 100. I love me some Aquarius, feminine, but the masculine Aquarius I haven't gotten to connect with on that level, but that is the past. All we have is now. Yeah, so I'm going to let Miss Janae take the floor. I hope that I have provided some information to give y'all something to think about and chew on, but it don't matter because Miss Janae about to unwind it all and give you all the clarity.
Oh, look. Let's put the pressure on Miss Keisha.
I'm so sorry. And she's a great storyteller too. It's just like, oh, can you just say a little bit more?
Oh, so I'm going to use my energy oracle deck to pull a couple cards to get the energy that we may be dealing with this transit in Venus with Spirit Team. Okay. Okay. Woo! Now, this is interesting. First card out is Door to Romance.
Wow. Here we go.
Isn't it? But look at this though. If you can see the picture clearly, there is a door, and inside the door is a bird cage, and inside the bird cage is the heart with the key to it. Get it? Uh-huh. So I look at this and I'm thinking, okay, your heart's in a cage. It's not going to be. It's like somebody's protecting the heart. Somebody's not allowed. You got to have the right key to get to the heart.
Yeah. You
just don't walk through the door to get to the heart. There's a whole cage that the heart's in behind the door, and you got to have the right key. So when you were talking earlier about that, you know, the not wanting to, the clinginess and and you want something long term, and you know, you're not wanting to hit it and quit it. You're not
Yep.
wanting to come and go. You're wanting something long term. This is what this is. It's like, okay, but you're gonna have to have the key to get it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another Aquarius energy to me, this is the world. Aquarius energy is about the world. It's about humanitarianism. Again, it's about the global thing. It's about, you know, your community. And so with that energy, this is
Wow.
an oracle deck card. It is not a tarot card, but this could be something on a global scale, something mm, 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 mm. It's like expanding your outlook from me and mine to we and ours. Am I
Mm.
making sense?
Yep.
It's like broadening. And you know what this pandemic has done too? Just like, you know, in the chat, we got UK in here. We got UK in the house. And it's like, and you know, with the technology, nobody's that far away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're really closer than ever before. So we really are a global community. So it's getting out of chakra video. Heart in the cage is an overactive fire chakra. Hmm. So getting out of the what was I saying?
Cage. Getting out of the cage.
And realizing that the world is not as big as what you think it is. Like,
Mm.
Miss Rebel Jewel is my neighbor, Sophie is my neighbor, that's my sister. We need to think outside of just where we are.
Yeah.
The world has gotten really, really small.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we have appreciation.
Wow.
Doesn't that sound like Aquarius too?
Yeah.
It's what I'm getting from that particular card is not just, it's the appreciation, not just for what you have, but it's I'm sorry, these comments are making me laugh. But it's like appreciating each other. It's appreciating our differences, and it's appreciating that even though we're different, we're the same. And it's a oneness, and it's a just because you're different from me doesn't mean that you're different from me. Does that make any sense?
Yep.
We are still one, and we need to appreciate the differences in each other and look at them as additions or positive things, instead of something that goes, oh no, I can't mess with you because you believe that, or I can't mess with you because you look like that. It's appreciating each other where we are with what we have. Yes, we're all connected, divine consciousness, and that's the thing, is appreciating it instead of fighting against it, and instead of struggling against it, you know, instead of causing that separation and that division, or even looking at the world like that, like we are separated. We are not.
Yeah.
We're not. All righty, now
Even
we can pull a little bit. Even by video link, Sophie. Yep. All right, spirit team, talk to me about this door to romance for this Venus. And okay, Aquarius transit, talk to me. Oh, wow. Okay. They just fly out, y'all. Let's see. We have the Six of Wands.
Oh.
And then we have the Six of Cups. Oh, wait till I tell you what we got on here. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to point out is synchronicity. The door to romance card is the number 33. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 of Wands and the Six of Cups. You got 3 sixes. 666. Okay. And the number 6, I think I posted the number 6 today on my Instagram. The number 6 is about unconditional love. It's
Wow.
about harmony. It's about balance. It's about reciprocity. It's about charity. All
Wow.
that Aquarian energy.
I told you she tapped in, y'all.
No, it's spirit team. So I'm taking off my glasses, y'all, so I can see. I have to take off my glasses so I can see.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, goodness. So, but one of the things that I am seeing right here with the daughter of romance, particularly with the 6 of cups, that cage in that door to that heart it just stands out to me. And with the 6 of cups, we're talking about memories, we're talking about the past, we're talking about childhood, maybe some things that you've been through. And so what I'm seeing here is that it's possible that there may be those who have to heal something from their past, and that's why their heart's in a cage. That's why they behind a door and in a cage.
Yeah.
The door's open because there's something from the past that they haven't dealt with, but it's going to come up. And the other thing with that is not only is it going to come out, but you're going to come out on the other side in victory.
Mm.
You're going to come out on the other side of it in victory.
Wow.
And then the other thing that I see right here with that is also, I keep getting this card for myself personally. It came out twice today for 2 other different people I read for today. The rest card, the 4 of Swords. Rest, meditate. Rest, meditate. It's like that's where you're going. That's 1, where you're going to get answers. That's 1, 2, where you're going to get healing. That's where spirit can deal with you when you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you're quiet, your thoughts are quiet. You're when you meditate, you're listening. You're not talking.
Right.
You're resting and you're listening. And this is where you can get your downloads, and this is where you can get your healing, and this is where you can get your answers.
Wow.
Because this is what we have. We have 2 opposite things. We got the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is working hard, honey. Enjoying what you're doing, but you're working hard. You could be burning the candle at both ends. You could be actually workaholic mode, but you're doing it. You enjoy what you're doing it, and you're doing it with the intent of building a stable financial foundation for yourself in the future. So there is a time to work and a time to play. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we got these 3 6s here, and again, I already said that's about balance. That's one of the things. It's about balance. And so we work hard, we play hard. We work hard, we play hard. So there's some healing that is going to be going on here. Okay, and I just heard, some of you are going to meet somebody through work. It could be some kind of networking, whether it's on Zoom or whatever it may be, but some people are going to meet somebody through their work. Something that you're going to meet somebody through your work.
Wow.
Okay, let's see what this world is. Ooh, boy, if they say something about this hand. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay. You know what's funny is that sometimes they pop out, and I have candles lit over here, like tea lights.
Yeah.
Child, they be trying to land on the tea light candles. I'm like, y'all can't fire. 10 of Pentacles. Yes. 8 of Cups. And the Page of Cups. Okay. Ooh, okay. 10 of Pentacles, the quintessential American dream. You know, the nice house in the suburbs, nice car, investments, plenty of money in the bank, and the 2.5 kids and a dog. That's 10 of Pentacles. And we have this 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer emotionally serve you.
Wow.
It's like you're no longer being emotionally fulfilled. It's not that something bad necessarily happened. It could be that people outgrow something or someone, and know it's time for them to walk away. And I'm looking at this world card where it's global. It's almost what I'm feeling like this Ten of Pentacles is the world community at large.
Yeah.
Is the world community at large. And it is us walking away from, oh God, okay. Us
Say it.
walking away from materialism,
Yep.
that what this represents. Like I said, this Ten of Pentacles, like what I described as the quintessential American dream,
Yep.
it's changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's changing, and it's something that we're walking away from for a more global, community-based type existence. It's not all going to be about me and my kids and my husband and my house. It's going to be a we. It's going to go from me to we. And it's like, okay.
Uh-oh. Janae? No! It's frozen. Janae. I hope she's not still talking. Done with the hierarchy. That's right. Janae?
What?
You was going in and out. I can't hear you.
I'm not doing anything. What happened?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard me say?
Changing the going from we, something about going
From
to we.
me to we. So
Yeah.
it's like instead of me thinking about me and my family and my husband, now it's like, okay, I'm gonna go out here and grow this garden, and all of my neighbors in my neighborhood can come and get this, and then okay, this neighbor right here got maple syrup trees, and they're gonna bring the maple syrup for the community or whatever. It's like, and that's the other thing that I see too, is that communities of people coming together,
Yeah.
like-minded people that believe that or share the same belief system like this.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And now I'm just thinking, I was having a conversation with a friend over the weekend over a whole lot of wine. I think we had 4 bottles. We had 4 bottles of wine, and we were talking about if some mess went down, how I would go to their house. They were showing me where the guns was, where, everything. And like, I ain't got no guns.
Really?
And yes, we were all, and we're looking at, they got all these citrus fruit trees out there, and because they have acres of land, they have a horse farm actually, and so we were talking about, like, in the event that something happens, like civil unrest or something, how we would congregate together, different people, our friends in one place. Everybody have a role or a need that's filled should something like that happen.
Yep.
And so, and I'm not saying that this is, but this is just the community aspect of it. The community aspect of it is what I'm seeing with this. Like, the world is becoming our community. We're not looking out for just self anymore. Not just for me and my 2.5 and, whatever. We're coming together.
Yes. Yes. It was funny when you said that, the world card, and you started talking about it. At the very same time, you was like, oh, wait a minute, I hear something. I was writing, rethinking the American dream.
Exactly. This is exactly what this is. This is exactly what it is. Like, okay, this is not serving us anymore. This is not working at this particular time, in the way that the world is changing. We got to rethink this thing.
Yeah.
And child, we walking away from it. It was good for what it was when it was.
Yeah.
but it's not doing us any good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's see about this appreciation. All right. Tell me about appreciation. Okay. Okay. Whoa, we have the Nine of Cups.
Wow.
We have the Seven of Wands. And we have the Death card. Major Arcana Scorpio energy. Love to see
Wow.
it. Okay. So what I see here is tapping more into spirit. As in other words, not by might nor by power,
Mm.
but by spirit.
Mm.
Look at her on this card. She's got all this mess coming at her. You see the ones at the bottom, yet she's sitting in a bubble meditating.
Yeah.
And they ain't touching her. She's battling in the spirit. She's protecting herself in the spirit.
Mm.
Transformation. And what's the age of Aquarius about? It is about us. It's something ending and something transforming into something new again. It's a rebirth. This is a rebirth. I love seeing a death card. People think, I don't want to pull it because I'm gonna die. It ain't got nothing to do with you dying. Not in your body. Not in your body. This is transformation. I say you a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. That's all this is.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we are a caterpillar turning into a butterfly.
Yes.
That's what this is.
Yes.
And we're doing it, this air energy, by spirit.
Yes.
We manifesting. We meditating.
Yes.
We sending love and light.
Yes. I love this.
That's what we doing. And then look at her. Look at her. On this Nine of Cups. Don't she just free. She just free.
She's free.
She's happy. Yes, just free and happy and free. Aquarius love free. Free and happy and successful. Got her emotional cups full. Yes, I made a post about that on my story. Our weapon is to divine. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Ashe.
Yes. So Keisha, I go back to what you said at the beginning, that this is really a wonderful time to be alive.
It really is.
It is so exciting to see this. Now, you know what? And I'll say this, and it may sound a little bit morbid or whatever, but we losing a lot of people.
Yeah.
Every time you look at something, somebody else done win. But it's just time for them to go on with their journey. They ain't meant to go through this. Those of us that are still here got to carry this thing through.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The other thing that I see too is a lot of exposure. Like this transformation, death, and rebirth. I see it with Hollyweird. Every time you turn around, something or someone or some kind of thing is being exposed.
Yeah.
Our government, look at all the major platforms for real, Keisha, they all being exposed. How about this GameStop stuff? They done showed the hell out on Wall Street. They're being exposed to how it's always been rigged in favor of the rich.
Oh. No, actually, that's not what happened in that theory. I'm gonna talk about it when I do my Aquarius thing. I'm gonna break it down for y'all because it's still things are being exposed for a reason, though. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And they're either coming down or they're being transformed.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our government. Our government, the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, boo, that's my baby.
Oh. Hi.
So, but yeah, all that stuff is being exposed. I'm like, okay, if you don't have your shit in order, you might want to get it in order before everybody on the earth know about it.
Yes, for real.
Yes, death of the ego. It sure is divine. I'm like, okay, everything being exposed, everybody being exposed. You think, I was like, shh. From all like the major stuff, from the government to Hollywood to the money, Wall Street, all
Yeah.
everything's being exposed,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's just
crazy.
starting.
It's
But
shining the light.
it's
We're
all part of
we're
that
in Aquarius
transformation.
season, so Aquarius
It's
also
all
rules
part of
the
the
truth.
transformation. Mm-hmm.
And whenever you have the sun, even though right now it's kind of close, but whenever you have the sun and a whole bunch of
I
stellium
say.
of planets, uh,
Mm-hmm.
it brings light to things that we need to bring to light so that we can resolve these issues, so we can
Mm-hmm.
heal from them. If they stay hidden, we're not really dealing with them.
Right. That's what I've been saying. I'm like, you got to pull the band-aid off of the wound. You got to expose it before so I can get a scab on it so it can start healing.
Yeah.
You got to uncover it, and it's being uncovered. It's
Yeah.
being uncovered. And, like I said, those of us who, we're excited about it. We see what's going on and we know what's going on and we riding the wave. But, everybody don't know how to surf, honey.
Yeah.
Everybody don't know how to surf.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So, okay. I didn't go long this time, Keisha. I didn't even clarify nothing. I ain't clarified nothing. I didn't go long.
She's like, not today.
I'll let you
No,
go long this time.
no, but it's crazy how, and you know what? I was like, I know when I do this that the message was gonna come through. Like, I just knew the clarity was gonna come through with the cards because it always does. The cards never lie.
I mean, that was straight up. Oh, Crystal said, I need to get
Oh my
longer.
goodness. I think she's on to something. She must be a Scorpio.
She is very much a Scorpio.
Oh my God, that's a Scorpio right there.
Yeah, that's her. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Look,
my
that's
God.
a child. My daughter talks a lot about, and I say that because of her age, and you're a little you and her are around the same age. I think you're a little bit older than my daughter, Keisha, but she's into the container houses and the
Yep.
tiny houses, and she was looking at making a van into a house, and
Yep.
like minimizing and scaling down, and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't need all this stuff. I don't need all this space, and
Right.
I'm looking at her like. Yeah,
Keisha
she
called.
called it.
What did
Yeah,
I
she called
say?
crystal sign.
Oh, that's a bad habit at this
Yeah, but yeah, they're into she into that kind of minimizing, not using a whole lot of our resources. I wish she would type in there. She know I'm talking, but there she go. What is that up there?
Where?
What she got up there on the screen? What are
What?
those things?
What? Oh, those are all old. Up you go. The more you go up, the older the message. I already put it on the screen.
Okay. But yeah, I just said I wish she would say something because she's very much into that, and I find like a lot of the younger people are like that. Like when I was coming up, it was like, oh, you want a big house, you want 4 and 5 bedrooms, you want 2 and 3 thousand square feet of house and everything. And
Yeah.
I look at the tiny house and I feel claustrophobic just looking at it.
I mean, and it's discretionary too. It's not going to be for everybody. But on an
Right.
overall general view, it's not just that we need to be more minimalistic and less materialistic. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
have to because money is no more a thing. And that hasn't come out yet. But when that hits, people are going to
Mm-hmm.
be devastated. Something really big in the world is going to happen for us to think more this way. It's not going to get any better. I can assure you we're not going back to the normal that you thought we
Right.
were living okay. Like, that's not It's not an option anymore. America's ahead, and they have been for years now. And now that's going to come to light, and the shortages are going to come to light.
Girl, that's why last year I lost my mind and started saving all kinds of seeds for my plants. I'm like, I am not buying seeds from no place else. I'm starting to get seeds. I'm taking the seeds off of my own plants and saving them.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said earth ships, but you know what? The thing about it, about those things too, is that they're mobile. You can get them mobile. You can just hitch them up to the back of your car, a tiny house, and moves. If you don't want, you can be in Colorado one day, and the next day, okay.
I dream about. What comes to mind when I think about this is that '70s show. Things like the hippies, just going back to the '60s and looking at some of the things they lived in their hippie cars with their hippie.
Right. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Scooby Dooby Doo, that darn van, and how they used to look for real. How they used to, child. And then Crystal, what did she say? Not living in excess, living with excessive BS. Okay. See?
Yeah.
Because you have, yep. Less government in your shit.
Yes. That's another thing too.
Yeah. You find you a little spot of land or something that you can hook up to. Like how they have the campgrounds all over the place.
Yep.
And you hook up to that for a little while and be there and travel, go on to Colorado, see Yellowstone Park or the Grand Canyon or whatever. Keep on moving.
And you'll have the money to do it because you ain't got all that additional bills, the monthly drain. Right. That's what I call it.
You ain't got the utilities, all that stuff. And it, it sounds whatever, but I'm sitting here looking at my little space right here going, I ain't got enough space. I got so much stuff. And I'm like, do I want to get rid of all my stuff that I do have?
No, not without thinking it through. That's another thing that can, especially with Jupiter in the mix, because Jupiter expands everything it touches. So before you go in a frenzy, think it through and just find some place to put it. Like when I think of this, I think of pack rats. And that's just going to be okay because that's just what it's going to look like. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. You might need some extra additional storage and that storage just might be outside your trailer park. And that's okay. Because you never know when you're going to need some of that stuff. So, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's what I think of when I think of Jupiter hitting all this energy is people are going to start waking up. They're going to be getting downloads, and you ain't even got to do the whole chakra thing, the healing, or none of that because these downloads are going to come now. They've always been accessible to everybody, but it's just going to grow on such a massive level is that some people are going to be like, oh shoot, I gotta, but you gotta chillax.
But they traveled, Miss Rebel Jewel. The world was their oyster. Who traveled? You talking about Scooby Doo and them?
Oh yeah, yes.
But yes, ma'am, Miss Divine, hippie as fuck, black hippie. Sure enough.
Right now we really are trapped in a box. It's crazy.
Yeah, but there's that energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is a rebel, like your name is Rebel Jewel. Yes, Aquarius is rebellious energy. Yes. They will start a revolution, especially if you try to put them in a box.
Yes,
they don't believe in no boxes.
No, we do not do boxes. Leave out of this.
We like to have fun, Miss Divine. We do. Because you know what happens is when you're with somebody or when you're talking with somebody who gets it,
it does make such lovely conversation.
Yes, it does. And you just want to revel in it for a while, because you don't know when you're going to be able to do this again.
For real, seriously. But that happens to me and Janae all the time. Every time we get together, we be on the phone for hours in a day.
Yeah.
Like time is irrelevant.
And then we do stupid stuff. Oh, look. Okay, Divine, that right there. That's what I was
Yeah,
saying at the beginning. Like I am seeing stuff. I am hearing stuff.
yeah.
What was it? Insomnia, not being able to sleep, which,
Great.
I mean, just all, you had so much fun. And I know it's late where you are too. You're like
I
5 hours ahead
know.
of us. So it's like 1 in the morning over there. I'm
God
so
bless.
glad that you came and blessed us with your presence.
Yes, thank you, Miss Rebel.
Thank you. You're
She's such
always so
a sweetheart.
supportive and we appreciate you.
Yeah, my UK family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't stress enough how Aquarius also it rules the higher mind, and with Jupiter in there, it's not. And then we got this new moon coming in. I hope y'all ready. I'm even doing this video early so everybody can start preparing now for their new moon, whatever goals and
Them
manifestations you want to put
intentions, honey. Get them intentions together.
Yes, yes, we're gonna need them because this is it. This is gonna set the stage